I'm Jabal Bariga from Group 3. Our topic is about teachers' rights, duties, and responsibilities. For this report, my specific focus is on teachers' rights. But before we begin, let's warm up with a short activity called Word Search. Direction. Find the following words hidden in the puzzle. The words may appear horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. These words are all connected to our topic. This activity will help you get familiar with key terms we'll discuss later. If you're ready, let's start. Today, I will discuss teachers' rights, which are part of the broader topic teachers' rights, duties, and responsibilities. My goal is to help us understand how teachers are protected by the law and why these rights are important in ensuring quality education. Teachers' rights refer to the legal protections and privileges given to all educators. These rights ensure several key things. First, fairness. Teachers must be treated equally and not discriminated against. Second, dignity. Teachers must be respected as professionals at all times. Third, safety. Teachers should teach in a safe environment free from threats and harm. Fourth, proper compensation. Teachers must receive correct salary and benefits. Fifth, professional freedom. Teachers can exercise judgment in teaching. Lastly, career development. Teachers have opportunities for promotion, training, and growth. All these are anchored in Philippine laws that protect the welfare of teachers. And now, next topic about legal basis of teachers' rights. These are the main laws supporting and protecting teachers. First, the Republic Act 4670, Magna Carta for Public School Teachers. Second, Republic Act 7836, Teachers Professionalization Act. Third, Republic Act 11997, Kabalikat sa Pagtuturo Act. Republic Act 4670 Magna Carta for Public School Teachers provides many important rights. First is the security of tenure. Teachers cannot be removed without due process. Second, fair working hours. The law limits excessive workload. Third, protection against disciplinary actions. Teachers are protected from false accusation. Fourth, extra compensation. Paid overload or extra hours. Fifth, health measures and medical care. Free medical checkups and health benefits. Sixth, right to self-organization. Teachers can form or join unions. Last, due process. Teachers must be heard before any punishment. This law makes sure teachers are safe, supported, and treated with dignity. Next, Republic Act 7836, Teachers Professionalization Act. This law focuses on the professional standards of teachers. The key points or highlights. Only licensed teachers can practice. Ensures quality education. Continuous professional development, seminars, CPD points, trainings. Next, higher teaching standards. Promotes excellence in the teaching professions. Next, strict ethical conduct. Teachers must follow professionalism and ethics. Republic Act 7836 ensures that teachers are competent, qualified, and recognized as true professionals. Next, Republic Act 11997, Kabalikat sa Pagtuturo Act. The purpose help teachers buy needed classroom materials, reduce out-of-pocket expenses, support teachers' instructional needs, ensure teachers do not spend too much from personal money. This recognizes the reality that teachers often use their own money to support their students and aims to ease that burden. Next is the right to professional growth. Teachers have the right to continue growing as professionals. This includes attend trainings, seminars, workshops, pursue higher education for promotion, receive government support for professional advancement, grow in knowledge and teaching expertise. This right ensures that teachers do not remain stagnant. They keep improving so students also benefit. The next is right to a safe and healthy work environment. Teachers must work in an environment that is safe classrooms and school facilities, protection from harassment, threats, or abuse, emotional and mental well-being support, positive and respectful work atmosphere. A safe school environment allows teachers to do their job well and reduce stress. Next topic, right to fair compensation. Teachers must receive timely and fairly salary, benefits, bonuses, and leave privileges, teaching allowance, overtime pay for extra assignments, medical and protection benefits. Fair compensation shows that teachers' work is valued and that they are recognized as essential professionals. Our next topic, right to academic freedom. Academic freedom means teachers can choose appropriate teaching methods, use creative approaches, teach according to curriculum with professional judgment, maintain independence in instructional decisions. This right ensures that teachers are free to teach in the best way they know, as long as it aligns with the curriculum. The next topic is right to self-organization. Teachers have the right to join unions or teacher organizations, participate in collective discussions, advocate for better working conditions, protect their welfare as a group. Through organizations, teachers gain a stronger voice and support system. Next, right to due process. Before a teacher is punished, there must be a fair investigation. There must be informed or complaints. There must be allowed to defend their side. No immediate suspension without legal basis. These rights prevents unfair treatment and protects teachers from false accusations. Next up, the summary of all teachers' rights. To summarize, teachers are protected through these rights: professional growth, safe workplace, fair compensation, academic freedom, self-organization, due process, medical and health benefits are from Magna Carta, security of tenure, teaching load protection. These rights exist because teachers are essential to the nation's future. Protecting teachers means protecting students and the quality of education. That ends my discussion in teachers' rights. Thank you for listening, and may we continue to value and support our teachers who dedicate their lives to shaping future generations.
So hello everyone. By the way, I am Liza B. Caputo, and for today, I'll be talking about the teacher's duties and responsibilities together with Mr. Clifford. So, all certificated employees shall assume the duties and responsibilities assigned by the superintendent or designee. Teachers' professional responsibilities involve considerably more than merely classroom instruction. They include, but are not limited to, study and research to keep abreast of new knowledge and instructional techniques, assessment of students' work, record keeping, lesson planning and preparation, conferences with students, parents, and administrators, in-service meetings, and supervision of pupils outside the classroom. So teachers must be in their classrooms or assigned areas as instructed by the building principal. All duty time is necessary for educational planning, preparation, and conferences with students, parents, and faculty members. All teachers must maintain a standard of dress, personal appearance, general decorum, moral standards, and behavior that reflects with their professional and a professional status in the community. So teachers have many important jobs, not just teaching in the classroom. They also spend time learning new things, checking students' work, making lesson plans, talking with parents and other teachers, and helping students even outside the classroom. So teachers need to be in their classrooms or wherever the principal tells them to be. Their work time is used to prepare lesson plans and meet with students, parents, and other teachers. The teachers should also look neat, behave politely, and act as a good role models in school and the community. So teachers will be responsible to the principal for carrying out policies of the board as they relate to the function of the school, to the classroom, and to the immediate contact with students and parents. Teachers will be expected to furnish such after school time as is needed for assisting students, conferring with parents, and doing other necessary out schoolwork. Teachers will direct curricular and extracurricular learning experiences of students. 2. Care for and protect school property. 3. Supervise students on school grounds. 4. Participate in planning and evaluation of school programs. 5th. Participate in faculty activities. 6. Participate in service training. 7. Support auxiliary school activity. 8. Carry out such board policies and administrative regulation as they relate to the teaching activities. And 9. Be punctual. So, as we go deeper, we have first extracurricular assignments. Assignments may be made to teachers for various school related duties. So every effort will be made to make all assignments on an equitable basis. Second one is recommending educational materials. So no teacher in any public school shall act as agent for any author, publisher, bookseller, or other person to introduce any book apparatus, furniture, or other article or whatever in the schools. Third one is the accident procedure. If any employee is involved in an accident while in the line of duty, it is necessary to file an accident report with the superintendent within 24 hours. So all employees will report any student accidents to the superintendent or his designee immediately upon occurrence. Fourth one is the recommending dentist, physicians, or business houses. So teachers are not to make recommendation in regard to particular dentist, physician, or business houses. So the fifth one, we have the supervision of students. So students are not to be left unattended by the teacher. Teachers are responsible for the conduct and safety of students and will see that safety rules are observed. In an extreme emergency, the teacher shall make every effort to provide adequate supervision during his or her absence. So that's it for my part. Let's proceed to the next reporter.
So, good day everyone. My name is John Clifford Hermoso, and today we will continue our topic for today, which is all about the teacher's duties and responsibilities. So, let's talk about plans and plan book. So, this is where the teachers need to turn in their lesson plans every day so that the principal can check them para ma-check sa principal ang katuna lesson plans. Next is condition of classrooms. Teachers are responsible good no to keep or keeping their classrooms tidy and making sure nga ang tanang equipment is in good working order. So next is cooperation with non-teaching personnel. So teachers should cooperate good no with other staff members, no, like the janitor or the administrative assistants, no, like working together ba. Like for example, ang school janitor is nag-need og assistance kay dili siya kaalsa sa desks kay bugat, no? So the teachers can offer their help, no, ana siya, or si teacher baron kaha ang nanginahanglan sad og help, so pwede sad siya mo approach sa school janitor, no, like ingon ana ba, working together. Next is the students access to rooms, no? Ang students must be supervised by a teacher or staff member kung mag-use sila sa room or building in the school, kay ang students dili man siya allowed to have keys to any rooms. And then next is use of office telephone. So kaning office phones are mainly for school business gyud ni siya. Students can only use it in emergencies. And then the teachers can't make long distance calls without permission sa school administration. So next is leaving campus during school hours. So the teachers can't leave the school grounds during school hours gyud, no, unless they've told the administration beforehand and then nakuha nimo or you've gotten their approval. Next is central office information current. So ang school is nag-need gyud na nga naa sila'y correct information about you, no, in case of emergencies or for important paperwork. Think of it like keeping your contact info updated sa imuhang phone, no? Ang name, address, telephone number, no? This is the basic information that the school can reach you quickly if something happens, no? Ingon ana siya. And then there's credits earned to meet requirements of the salary schedule. Ang school is need yun na makabalo if you've taken additional courses or training that qualify you for a higher pay grade. Like for example, if you complete a master's degree, need yun na nga i-update nimo ngadto sa superintendent's office para makakuha ka or makuha nimo or makakuha ka sa correct salary. And then next to kin, in case of an emergency at school like accident ba kaharon, na injured ba ron, the school needs to know who to contact. And then dependents W4. This affects your taxes. Your W4 form maoy magtell sa school kung how much tax to withhold from your paycheck. Then the school. If you transfer to a new school within the district, the superintendent's office need to know, no, kung mo transfer ka sa laing school. You need to update it. And then updated insurance information. So this is important for your health benefits, no, like for example, if imong ipa-change ang imuhang health insurance plan, no, you need to let the school know so that your coverage is correct. And then the last is the students working in building. So if the students are working in the school building, the teacher in charge is need yun na siya mo stay with them, no, and watch over them. Teachers can't just leave and go home while students are still there, no, kay if something happens to the students because the teacher left, ang teacher gyud ang responsible ana, not the school. So that's all for my part. I hope nakasabot ra mo. Thank you.
Good day everyone, and good day Miss Didios. I am Chevin Ruta, and now moving on sa akong part. This is now the Education Act of 1982 or Batas Pambansa bilang 232. Basically, kani nga law is kaning mao gini siyang nagset sa entire structure sa education system here sa Philippines. Kumbaga, mao ni ang framework ngano ang schools nato karon is very organized, regulated, and naay kanang klarong rights og responsibilities. This law man jud covers everything. Public schools, private schools, formal and non-formal, from preschool up to college. So, tanan ta maka-benefit ani. Even students, teachers, parents, administrators, and even the schools themselves. Mao ni ang kanang foundation ngano ingon ani ang atong education system karon. Without this law, wala man jay klarong direction ang atong educational system. Nakasabot? Okay. Now, let's proceed to the next slide, no? Kanang kasabot naman mo unsa ni siya nga law. Let's break it down para mas masabtan pa jud nato. Okay. Republic Act number 232. This was an act providing for the establishment and maintenance of an integrated system of education. In accordance with Section 2, this act shall apply to and govern both formal and non-formal system in public and private schools in all levels of the entire educational system. So this law focuses on establishing an integrated and orderly education system daw. When we say integrated, pasabot ana is very kanang organized and connected yun ang tanang levels of schoolings. Like dili siya kalat-kalat, dili magbuot-buot ang tagsa-tagsa ka schools. So another important point is kanang it applies to all schools, public or private daw. Meaning dili lang ni siya exclusive sa DepEd. Apil pud ang TASDA, apil ang CHED og apil tanan private learning institutions. So ang tumong lang jud ani niya is very simple ra jud, no, para fair ra gyud ang kuan, para fair and consistent ang education sa whole Philippines. Okay? Nakasabot? Now, let's go deeper into the purpose behind this law. Let's proceed to the next slide. Goals of National Education. Section 3. Okay. To achieve and maintain an accelerating rate of economic development and social progress. So, according to Section 3, there are 3 good major goals ang national education. First, kanino? Economic and social development. Education should help the country progress. In short, dili lang siya for personal success, but para mo asenso ang entire Philippines. In short, dili lang siya for kanang gid, no? Kanang katong dili lang gid siya para sa kanang personal success. For example, kung daghan og educated workers, mas daghan pud ang trabaho ug mas kusog ang economy. Second, to assure the maximum participation of all the people in the attainment and enjoyment of the benefits of such growth. Participation of all people. The law wants education to be exclusive. Dili dapat pilion kung kinsa ra ang deserving or kaya mo eskwela. All ages, all genders, all backgrounds, dapat equal ang opportunity. Next, to achieve and strengthen national unity in desirable cultural, moral, and spiritual values in changing world. So, strengthen national unity and values. Education should help us become better Filipinos. Dili lang academically smart, pero morally upright, respectful, and responsible. So, makita nato nga kanang ang goal sa education is to dili lang kanang not to teach only, but also to shape us as a good members of society. Nakasabot ba? And naa pa dyan ay isa ka very important statement sa section 3, no? Gi-emphasize gyud diri nga kani. Let's proceed to the next slide na. The state shall promote the right of every individual to relevant quality education, regardless of sex, age, creed, socio-economic status, physical and mental conditions, racial or ethnic origin, political or other affiliation. The state shall therefore promote and maintain equality of access to education as well as the benefits of education by all its citizens. So, education is a right of every individual, regardless of sex, age, religion, economic status, mental or physical condition, race, or political beliefs. So, unsa man day pasabot ani? Pasabot ani nga wala jay dapat left behind. Dili dapat piliun kinsa ang deserving og good education, no? Kung pobre ka or PWD ka, or taga layo man ka or dili ka privileged bitaw, you still have the right to quality education. No, giingon pud sa law nga the state must promote equality of access, meaning ang gobyerno dapat mangita og paagi nga ang tanan maka-eskwela. Libre basic education, scholarship, support for marginalized students, and safe learning environment for all. So this part is very important yun because it reminds us future teachers nga we are responsible for making education inclusive, fair, and accessible daw. No, so after understanding the goals and principles, let's go to the next part na. The basic principles of education. Nakasabot ba tanan? Okay, now let's move to the next slide. Basic principles of education, section 4 to 8. So, kani dire kanang kani nga part kay mura bitaw ni siya heart sa Education Act kay diri gi-clarify man gyud unsa gyud ang kanang purpose o guiding philosophy sa kanang atong education system. Education is a right of every citizen daw, no? Giingon sa balaod nga ang edukasyon kay right, dili privilege, dili gift, dili something nga para sa mga dato. Meaning ani, tanan tawo dapat maka-eskwela, walay pili and no discrimination. If right siya, ang trabaho sa gobyerno is to make sure nga accessible gyud ang education para sa tanan, rich or poor, bata or tiguwang, lalaki or babaye. So, 'di ba? Bisan gani kanang ang mga kanang out of school youth na ay ALS programs, 'di ba? No, that's because education is a right. Okay, next. Basic education in public schools shall be free. No? Basic education daw. Meaning, elementary ug high school. Kay dili kanang bitaw? Libre bitaw siya. Libre gyud sa kanang public schools. Dili lang ni siya kaning charity. Requirement ni siya sa balaod para dili ma-hinder ang bata sa pag-eskwela tungod lang kay walay kwarta, no? Like, free basic education is the country's way of promoting equal opportunities. Kay unsaon man nato pag-ingon nga education is a right kung mahal kayo ang tuition, di ba? Mao nang gi-mandate sa law nga libre na lang. Next, education promotes lifelong learning. So, education is a lifelong process daw. Dili lang siya kutob sa pag-eskwela sa elementary, high school, or college. Dili pud ni siya kanang limitado sa young people ra. Pwede pa ta mo learn through trainings, short courses, graduate studies, seminars, or even community-based learning. Meaning, kanang we continue learning as long as buhi pa ta, no? Education is not a moment. It's a journey. Nakasabot? Okay. Lastly, schools must foster love of country, moral character, and human dignity. schools must develop daw moral character, no? Kanang fourth principle, ang eskwelahan dili lang gini siya puro academics daw. Dili ra siya math, science, and English. Part sa trabaho sa schools ang pagtudlo sa moral character, discipline, responsibility, respect, and patriotism or love of country daw. So in short, dili lang knowledge ang atong goal. Character development is equally important. For example, mao bitong naatay JMRC, di ba? Kanang values education nato ug kanang mga school activities like flag ceremonies kay dili ra bitaw ni siya, dili ni sila kanang filler, no? Mandated ni sila sa law. Nakasabot? Dira gyud nga kanang makita gyud nato nga it's not all about kanang kuan gyud, no? Academics. It's also for our kanang character development. So kanang in summary, these principles explain what kind of education ang gi-envision sa atong gobyerno. Accessible, free, lifelong, and character development. Nakasabot? Okay. So, kanang karon nakakuan naman ta, no? Nakasabot naman, no? Nakasabot raman ang tanan. Now, let's proceed to the next part, no? The main part, which is the rights, and it is to be discussed by the other reporter. So kanang once again, I am Cheven Ruta, and I hope that nang you understand, you listen, and kanang you gain knowledge about my kaning reporting. Okay, so that's all, and thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Cherry Arkamai, and today I will tackle about the rights of students in school, which is the Section 9. For the first bullet, the right to receive competent instruction, relevant quality education. As students, we are competent to receive a good quality of education. Since kita nga students na nasa atong rights, now we should receive good quality of education. For the next bullet is the right to freely choose their field of study, subject to the existing curricula, and continue their course up to graduation, except in cases of academic deficiency or violations of disciplinary regulations. So for this bullet, kita as students, we are free to choose our own field of study since kita ang maeskwela. So for this bullet is kaning we will be able, so mauto na, we will be able to choose our own field of study kung wala ta nakalabag sa law sa tuwa nga eskwelahan. So dapat yun, if kita nga mga students, we should obey our rules in our institutions. For the third bullet is the right to school guidance and counseling services. As far as I know, each schools they offer counseling services, just like in CTU Danao University. So for the fourth bullet is the right to access to his own school records and the confidentiality of it. So kita as students na nagina sa tuwa na ato ang own confidential is dili siya dapat na ipakita sa uban. And also our records dili siya pwede i-post since it's confidential. For the fifth bullet is the right to issuance of official certificates, transfer credentials, and similar document within 30 days from request. So, mausad na siya, nakaagi na sa daan ni. So, baguhan lang siya is kitagaan mig letter or form nga i-add to sa imong previous school so that na kaning mahatag na or mag-give sa imong university nga giadtuan, which is the registrar office. So ako silang gi-ask if how many days nga makuha ang form 137, and they also said nga 30 days ra gid siya gikan sa imuhang pag-request. So let's proceed to another bullet, which is the right to publish a student newspaper and invite resource persons during synopsis or symposium, assembles and other activities. So kita nga students nabantayan sila nato na mag-gather ta sa isa ka place which is na a symposium. For example, sa symposium is kaning drug symposium. So which is nag-invite sila mga police to inform us about drugs, what's wrong about drugs o nganong dapat siya nga likayan. So for the next bullet is the right to free expression of opinions and suggestions and to effective channels of communication with appropriate academic and administrative bodies of the school or institutions. So for this bullet is naatay we have the free expression kaning pwede ta makasuggest sa atuang school, atuang institution, which is pwede mo siya makuan sa atuang student body which is the SSG. Next bullet is the right to perform or establish, join, and participate in organizations and societies recognized by the school, or to form, join, and maintain organizations and societies for purposes not contrary to law. So, each school is not na mga clubs, which is you are free to join. Kaning magpili ka kung asa mo ganahan, just like sa ato ang university karon. We have different of organizations. Lain-lain siya from different nga department. So again, we have the freedom to choose or to join organizations. For the last bullet is the right to be free from involuntary contributions except those approved by their organizations and society. So as far sa akong na-remember naay mga activities na pwede ra jud nga dili ka mo join. Pero naa jud uban nga activities na you are or dapat jud ka mo join since nana siya sa school institutions na all students must obey or must join that certain nga let's just say na it's an event, that certain event baron or meetings nga kaning sa each department is pwede nga kaning so one organization is ay kanibas example, let's just put naay nangayo og hinabang, then wala man siya nakasulat sa letter na you are obliged to pay that certain amount kani contribute voluntary or kung dili jud wala jud di jud mo makaya nga mo give just a little bit of money is pwede ra sad nga dili ka mo give since wala man sa katong letter nga gihatag na you are voluntary.
So, hello everyone. So, my name is Hannah Flores, and my topic is all about Section 10, which is right of all school personnel. So, let's start with the first bullet, which is free expression of opinions and suggestions. So, this means that school personnel can share their ideas or concern without fear. Like, for example, a teacher suggests improving the reading program. So even if the principal didn't like the idea, the teacher cannot be punished for speaking up. So now let's proceed with the second bullet, to be provided with free legal service by the appropriate government office in case of public school personnel and the school authorities concerned in any case of private school personnel when charged in administrative, civil and or criminal proceedings by parties other than the school authorities concerned for actions committed directly in the lawful discharge of professional duties and or in defense of school policies. So this means that school personnel must receive free legal assistance if they are charged in administrative, civil, or criminal cases for actions done in the lawful performance of their duty. So for example, a student files a complaint because the teacher confiscated a phone during class. So since this action is part of classroom management, the teacher gets the free legal support from the government, public school, or school in private school. So now let's proceed with the third bullet, which is establish joints, maintain labor organizations for their choice to promote their welfare and defend their interests. So this means that school personnel have the right to join or form unions to protect their welfare and defend their interests. Like for example, a teacher joins a faculty association to negotiate for better benefits. So the school cannot stop or punish them for joining because it is the personal's rights. So let's proceed with the last bullet. To be free from involuntary contribution except those imposed by their own organizations. So this means that teacher cannot be forced to give money unless their contribution is from their own organizations. Like for example, a school asks teacher to pay for a project. So a teacher can say no and the school cannot force them. But if it's a fee from their teachers union, then it is allowed. So now we're here in section 11, which is special rights and or privileges of teaching or academic staff. So now let's proceed with the first bullet, the right to be free compulsory assignment not related to their duties defined in their appointment or employee contracts unless compensated thereof. Additional compensation, Sec 14, RA 4670, at least 25% his regular remuneration. So this means that teacher cannot be given tasks outside their job description unless they are compensated at least 25% additional pay. Like for example, a teacher is assigned to do like for example kanang sa elections. So if mo duty or member ang teacher ana or like siya ang chairman, so mag additional pay na sa ilahang salary since wala naman na sa or wala naman sila nag-teach ana. So let's proceed with the second bullet, right to intellectual property. So this means that any teaching materials they create belong to the teacher. So for example, if a teacher creates a worksheet or module, another teacher cannot copy it and claim it as their own. Aside lang siguro ana sa kanang parihaan ng sign as a Google. So if imuha na siyang i-copy kana siyang worksheet, dili lang nato or dili lang jud dapat i-reason ang name sa real owner ana nga worksheet or module. So let's proceed with the third bullet. Teachers are persons in authority when in lawful discharge of duty and responsibility shall therefore be accorded due respect and protection. This is according to Commonwealth Act number 578. So this means that when teachers are performing their duties, they must be given due respect and protection under the law. Like for example, a parent insults or threatens a teacher while the teacher is handling a class. It becomes a serious offense because the teacher is considered a person in authority. So now let's proceed with the last bullet. Teachers shall be given opportunity to choose career alternatives for advancement. So this means that teacher must be given chances for professional growth through promotion, training, or higher studies. Like for example, a teacher is allowed to join seminars, apply for master teacher positions, or take graduate studies to advance their career.
So hello everyone, I am Glidel Timorata and today I will be discussing the sections 12 to 15 of the Education Act of 1982 or the Batas Pambansa bilang 232. So these sections outline specific rights and responsibilities within the educational system. So first, let us discuss the section 12 rights of administrators. So, school administrators shall be deemed persons in authority while in the lawful discharge of their duties and responsibilities, shall be accorded due respect and protection. So, when we say school administrators, they are the individuals responsible for the day-to-day management, and overall leadership of a school. They are the ones who ensure that the school runs smoothly and provides a quality education. So example of school administrators are these are the principals, vice principals, department heads, school deans, administrative staffs, and so on and so forth. So for this section 12, which is the rights of administrators, so school administrators, they need enough power to do their jobs well, following the rules of the Department of Education. Therefore, us people should respect and protect them when they are doing their jobs. So next, let us proceed to the rights of schools, which is the section 13. So the right of their governing boards to adopt and enforce administrative or management systems. It is also the right of institutions of higher learning to determine on academic grounds who shall be admitted to study, who may teach, and who shall be the subjects of the study and research. So schools have the right to govern themselves properly through their boards and to create their own administrative systems. So colleges also can decide who gets in, kinsay magtudlo, and unsa ang itudlo o ang i-research based sa academic standards. So mao na ang sulod sa section 13, which is the rights of school. So now let us proceed to the duties of student, which is the section 14 and 15. So students are expected to exert their best effort in learning. Second one is maintain academic honesty and integrity. Third one is participate actively in school activities. Fourth one is follow school rules and regulations. And the fifth and last one is respect teachers, officials, personnel, and fellow students. So from the word duties of students, so mao ni ang kaning mga duties and responsibilities nga dapat i-exert sa isa ka estudyante. So students also need to try their best to learn and develop their skills to help their families and communities. They should respect the school's rules, strive for excellence, and maintain peace within the school. Students should also participate in community activities and use their rights responsibility. So that's all for my part. Thank you and have a good day.
Alright, good day everyone. I am Bibi Chanenduran, and today I will be discussing section 16 to 19, which outline the duties of teachers, administrators, and parents in the school community. These responsibilities are important because they ensure that the school environment remains safe, supportive, and effective for all students. So, first, let's talk about the duties of teachers. So we all know that teachers play a major role in shaping students' knowledge, skills, and values. So under section 16 to 17, teachers must first we have performed teaching and professional functions with competence. So teachers should be knowledgeable and skilled in the subjects they teach. So as a teacher, we have to prepare updated lessons and uses clear demonstrations during class. We have next the sustain high standards of classroom instruction. So teachers must provide quality teaching that helps students learn effectively. So since we are a teacher of little ones, it is needed for us to use instructional materials and give activity that fits in their interest to support students' understanding. Next, we have participate in curriculum development and school planning. So, teachers help design and improve the school's curriculum and programs. So next is promote the physical, mental, and moral welfare of students. So as teachers, we should prioritize our students' safety, well-being, and values. Lastly, we have maintained discipline and support school policies. So teachers reinforce rules and model good behavior. So we have to remind our students to follow class routines and reasonable behavior standards. Now let's proceed to the section 18, which is duties of administrators. So administrators are responsible for first implementing school policies and programs. So they ensure that rules and plans are followed. So they make sure teachers follow grading guidelines or school programs are properly organized. Next is ensuring quality education through effective supervision. So administrators check that teaching is done well and provide support or feedback to improve instruction. Like they observe classes and giving teachers advice on how to improve. Next, we have maintain school safety, discipline, and order. So administrators make sure the environment is safe and organized for learning, like creating safety rules, handling major discipline cases, and checking school facilities. Next, we have supporting teachers and students. So administrators provide assistance, resources, and guidance to help both teachers and students succeed. Lastly, we have managing school resources properly. So administrators are responsible for budgeting and making sure school equipment and funds are used wisely, like purchasing needed supplies, repairing facilities, or allocating funds for school events. Now let's proceed to section 19, which outlines the duties of parents. So parents are expected to first support and cooperate with the school. So parents must work together with teachers and school staff to help the child's learning. Next, they are expected to provide guidance, moral support, and home supervision. So parents must teach good values at home, guide their children's behavior, and supervise their study time. Next, we have participate in school programs and activities. So parents should also join school events that involve their child's development, like attending PTA meetings, school programs, or parents' workshops. Next, we have uphold educational goals and policies. So parents should support the school mission and rules to maintain order and quality education. So they have to ensure that their child follows school rules on uniform, attendance, and behavior. Lastly, we have help ensure that children attend school regularly. So since education right now is required, so parents are responsible for making sure their children go to school on time and are not absent without valid reasons.
Ave Maria, I'm Dave Magali, and my topic was maintenance of quality education. So let's go over to voluntary accreditation, which we can find it in Section 29 of the Education Act of 1982. So what is voluntary accreditation? Schools may choose to be evaluated by authorized organizations like TESDA or DepEd. If they pass, this shows they meet the high educational standards. For example, kanang mga eskwelahan nga nagtudlo vocational skills like pagpang-welding, panday, or mga yug motor or automotive. Mukuha na sila accreditation gikan sa TESDA aron ma-prove nila that they meet the high educational standards. And for some eskwelahan like private schools, mukuha sa sila accreditation gikan sa DepEd aron ma-prove nila that they meet the standards of DepEd. So, the next one is teachers and administration's obligations and qualifications, which we can find in section 16 to 17 of the Education Act of 1982. The teacher and administrator qualifications. The teachers and school leaders must meet required educational and professional standards. This ensures students are taught by capable and trained educators. So, base sa the Education Act of 1982, dili makatudlo ang usa ka maestra kung wala siya lisensya o kinahanglan siya mokuha og kanang pila ka units aron ma-maintain to niya nga lisensya og dapat i-renew to niya. So the next one is government financial assistance to private schools. Section 41. Private schools can receive financial help from the government, especially they meet quality standards. This helps them improve facilities, teacher training, and learning resources. These measures ensures that schools are well managed, teachers are qualified, and students receive quality education. So, why the Education Act is important for teachers? The Education Act is very important for teachers because it guides them in their professions. It protects teachers' rights and professional status. Teachers are protected from unfair treatment, abuse, and unreasonable demands. The law recognizes teaching as a respected profession. Second, guides teachers in performing duties within legal standards. The law helps teachers know what is allowed and which is not allowed in school, such as proper discipline, responsibilities, and ethical behavior. Kung sa una, pwede itong corporal punishments, but karon, dili na, which has been stated sa until child abuse daw. So, the next one, ensures quality education where teachers play a key role. Teachers are expected to follow standards in teaching. This helps students receive proper and effective education. And the next one is helps teachers understand their role in upholding student rights. Teachers learn how to protect student rights such as fairness, safety, and equal treatment. Overall, the law helps teachers teach correctly, fairly, and professionally. To sum it up, the Education Act is a law made to protect everyone involved in education. This includes students, teachers, school staff, and school institutions. It clearly states that each group can do and should not do. For students, it protects their right to learn in a safe and fair environment. For teachers, it protects them. It protects their right to be treated with respect and to work under fair conditions. And for schools, it provides rules so they can operate properly and legally. Because of this law, schools become safer and more organized and better places for learning. Future teachers especially need to understand this law so they can act professionally and responsibly. So, that's all for our report. Ave Maria, Pax et Bonum.